Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. Let us study the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the Panchama Veda. We will be chanting first this mantra and then we will read. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. So here in the last Wednesday we have discussed a different type of tapasya. So when we are practicing tapasya means austerity. And what is this austerity? It's going against the nature. That is the uniqueness. Going against nature is tapasya. And what is the nature? Reacting for everything. Because of the five sense organs that goes out and it meets the five sense objects. And naturally it reacts in different way. So when we are a reaction that is coming in our mind, we are stopping. It called tapasya because it generates the heat. This is a normal way, the natural way our mind wants to know about the different things of this world, and it sends the five different things to collect information, like the eye, like the nose, like the ear, like the tongue, like the touch, etc. So it goes out, collect the information, bring it to the mind, and mind is very happy. But when you stop that, you don't like to do that. So naturally, it's just like a flowing water. If you dam it, if you stop it, try to stop it, it will swell up. It will be terribly forceful. Otherwise, just flowing. That's why when you try to practice tapasya, they say the tapas that generate heats as if. But you have to restrain your mind. So when you are controlling and a horse, it wants to run. The wild horse, it likes to run. But when you are training it, giving the training, trying to control it, it's the behavior of the horse. Like that the mind also. If you allow it to go to seeing all these things, there is no problem. So if you see that the people in the world, they are having these five different things and they are all right. Different type of reactions are coming, sometimes happiness, sometimes misery. But those who are trying to be pure, what is the purity? Understanding this world and the manifested world as totally, according to the Vedanta, illusion. Understanding that, when you try to give it up completely, so you are fighting with your own nature. That's called tapasya. And when we can do that perfectly, our mind becomes completely happy. So last time we studied that in the last Wednesday. And what type of tapasya? 3. The Hindus, they say 3 different type of tapasya: kaika, bachika, manasika. What is the kaika tapasya? That is physical tapasya. We already studied that. Those who are interested, you can go back to the website and you can see that. Bachika also, controlling the tongue, controlling the speeches. And through the speeches, we are not going to hurt anyone. That is the unique way. That is very, very difficult. And finally, manasika, even mentally, we are not thinking. The mentally also, we are completely detached. So kaika, bachika, manasika. Mentally also, we are not going to think any bad things. So that we studied. And now today, we will read from here the page number 781 in the English book, Saturday, June 13, 1885. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna was resting in his room after the midday meal. A Pandit was sitting on a mat on the floor. Near the north door of the room stood a Brahmin woman who had recently lost her only daughter and was stricken with the grief. Kishori, too, was in the room. The Master Mahasaya, arrived and saluted the Master. He was accompanied by Dvija and a few other devotees. This is a young boy, is a student. Sri Ramakrishna was not well. He had been suffering from an inflamed throat. These were the hot days of summer. Was not keeping well either. And of late, he had not been able to visit Sri Ramakrishna frequently. Sri Ramakrishna to Master, how are you? Sri Ramakrishna to him, how are you? It is nice to see you. The bale fruit you sent me was very good. So that means that for Sri Ramakrishna, Master Mahasaya is saying that Master Mahasaya had that habit of sending some of the things that Sri Ramakrishna liked. Then he is telling him, the Master is telling, I am speaking, the Master means the Master Mahasaya. Actually, here in the Gospel, constantly they are mentioning Master. Master means Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. I prefer to say Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna instead of Master. And they have all again and again mentioned the Master. Means the Master Mahasaya. That is in Bengali, Master Mahasaya. Master means the teacher. I am slightly better now, sir. Sri Ramakrishna. It is very hot. Take a little ice now and then. I have been feeling the heat very much myself. So I ate a great deal of ice cream. That's why I have this sore throat. Now, here we find that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, though he is the God, he is the incarnation, as in the words of Swami Vivekananda, the greatest incarnation, Avatara Bharishtaya. And we consider him that he is the God himself. Even then, in the human body, human form, all the normal human behavior. So naturally, in the human body, different type of diseases come, sometimes because of the heat, sometimes because of the cold, because of the changes of weather, things happen like that. So it is very normal. When I renounced everything with an offering of flowers at the lotus feet of the mother, I said, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, when he said that I am not going to do it, he will never do it. So that is he is mentioning. And what he is offering at the feet of the mother? Here, mother, take thy holiness, take thy unholiness. Here, mother, take thy dharma, take thy adharma, righteousness, unrighteousness. Here, mother, take thy sin, take thy virtue. Here, mother, take thy good, take thy evil, and give me only pure bhakti. Bhakti means the devotion. So what he is offering? Not fruits, not sweets, not these or that. He is offering the greatest thing, the greatest achievement a human can have. And that all that he is giving at the feet of the mother, and in exchange, we can say, he is praying for the devotion, the bhakti. Here, mother, take thy holiness. Usually we think the purity, so naturally it will take me to God, but instead he is telling that I gave that too. What is the holiness? Is telling that I gave the holiness and I gave the dharma, adharma, all these both I gave. Dharma, adharma, holiness, unholiness. The dharma means the righteousness, unrighteousness. Take thy seen and the virtue also. Why? It's going beyond Sattva Guna. So there are three qualities are there. And that binds a human soul to this worldly thing. There is Sattva, Raja and Tama. And what is the Sattva Guna? All this. So after giving away, fighting back the Raja and Tama with the help of the Sattva, the better quality, the Tama is the worst, always going against the people, against everything. Raja mixed with the ego, that also given up with the help of the Sattva, the all best qualities, good qualities. Now finally, this is called tapasya. And finally, giving away the Sattva also, then what remains? Only love for God and nothing else. So this, give me the pure bhakti. Then bhakti with desire, that is also not good. So the pure bhakti, only love for love's sake. I'm not loving you so that you protect me. No, it is not necessary. I just love you. It's very difficult. When the tremendous love for God comes, that's the pure bhakti, pure devotion. That's the supreme thing. Is very, very rare. So Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us how to go to that God and how to pray. Give me pure bhakti. But I could not say, here mother, take thy truth, take thy falsehood. Truth and falsehood. Truth means that exists. So that he could not give it to him. Because truth is God. It says in this way, devotee had brought some eyes. Again and again, the Sri Ramakrishna asked the Master Mahashaya, shall I eat it? Then he was just like a child. When the people constantly thinking of God, naturally the worldly things goes away and they always become a very simple hearted, just like a child. And for the worldly things, they like to depend on the others, as the child depends on the parents, the mother particularly. So Sri Ramakrishna is asking Master Mahashaya because he wanted to be understood the Master Mahashaya takes care of him. So he is asking, shall I eat it? But Sri Ramakrishna was very fond of ice cream. Swami Vivekananda too. There are some the anecdotes are there and the reminiscences. Then the Vivekananda, after finishing the lunch, he wanted to get up and go. To keep him on the table, they will always announce there is ice cream coming at the end, the last dish. And Vivekananda will sit back again, waiting for the ice cream and then having talk with others. To get his company, they always used to announce the ice cream is coming at the end. So he was very fond of ice cream, and his guru too, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. In those days, ice cream that we get, the very fine variety, it was not like that. But there were, the ices were there. The Sri Ramakrishna liked those ices. Now, but the doctor asked him not to take the ice. Now he is hesitant what to do. He is asking Master Mahashaya, shall I? Master Mahashaya was very intelligent. See how he is consoling him. He said humbly, please don't eat it without consulting the mother. He is not telling don't eat it. The Master Mahashaya is so humble. That is called Guru Bhakti. When a Guru is saying something, oh no, you should not do this, you should not do that, the disciple will never do that. The disciple will so this is the way you have to serve your Guru. The Guru all the time thinking about God and away from the vortex of this worldly life, he becomes like a child, and so he wants to demand this thing, that thing, but the disciple will protect him in such a nice way. Master Mahashaya knew that Sri Ramakrishna constantly consult with the Holy Mother, Divine Mother. So he is asking the sir, with a very humbly way is telling, please don't eat it without consulting the mother. Sri Ramakrishna could not take the eyes. Sri Ramakrishna, it is the bhakta and not the jnani who discriminates between holiness and unholiness. Bhakta and not the jnani. He is mentioning two words. Those who are connected with the Vedanta movement and the Vedanta ideology, those who are connected, they know these two terms. One is a bhakta, another is a jnani. So bhakta means those who believe that there is God and one can attain God. That's called bhakta, dualist. But the jnani, for him there is no God. It is only the knowledge. And in that knowledge is not depending on anyone, not even with God. So that is the wonderful conception. In Hinduism, the rooms are there for everyone. Those who wants to discriminate in that way, they like to believe that they are the divine soul. Of course that is there. Maybe we do not know. The others, they'll be so angry, they may beat them, kill them, torture them. But for the Hindus, they are allowed to practice in that way. I don't believe in God, I believe in myself. And aham brahmasmi, I am that self. And their thinkings are completely different. So the bhaktas, they discriminate between the holiness and unholiness. Oh, this is holy and this is unholy. This is good and this is that. They will never do. Jnanis will never do. Why? Because things are not existing before them. Nothing is there. So what to talk about the holy and unholy? What to talk about the God and no God? For them it is only the consciousness which is pervading everywhere. That's an excellent way of thinking, realization. Completely different. Majority of us, almost all of us, it's so difficult even to think in an intellectual way also. And some people, they talk about that, but hypocritic way they say. But in their behavior it is not like that. They are very selfish type. And they will be talking in that way. But at the same time their behavior will say something else. That is not good for spiritual life. One should not be hypocrite in spiritual life. Spiritual life is straight. So there is nothing wrong if I say that I love God, I believe in God, I like to feed God, I like to serve God, I like to sing for God, I like to visit the holy places. Nothing wrong in it. Because slowly when he goes over there, he becomes that. So that is then what is that bhakti, what is that devotion? One-pointed. That's why the Gaudiya Vaishnava Samaj, they have developed a unique conception of Radha. Radha, some people they talk about the wife and this and that. That is a different thing. But the Radha is a conception of pure love. And that love, it goes and merges with the God, becomes God itself, and there it ends. And the Jnani is also going to the same way, discriminating that this is not this purity, this is not this. All these things they go away, give up. And then afterwards for him, it becomes that all consciousness, there is no discrimination. So Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning that it is not the Jnani who discriminate between holiness and unholiness. Bijaya's mother, Vijaya Krishna Goswami perhaps, mother-in-law said to me, how little I have achieved of my spiritual ideal. That lady told Sri Ramakrishna, that is a very peculiar thing. Most of the people, they will never practice themselves, but they will go on dictating the monks. Unknowingly, they will be committing sin. Now, this mother-in-law of the Vijay, she mentioned how little I have achieved of my spiritual ideal. I cannot take food from everybody. Sri Ramakrishna, because he was the pure Swatika, it was difficult for him. Friends, we do not understand this. Because we don't practice this. That is the reason. Sometimes some people, they bring food, it is so difficult to eat. And even if you eat, that reacts. Because when they are cooking, they are serving all their ideas that, oh, I committed that type of sin, now that sin will go to that holy man and I am becoming free. This type of thoughts are also getting associated with the food. Sri Ramanujacharya, he proved that it is possible. That's why one should be very, very careful from what type of food is coming and who is giving, what is the purpose of the food. With love somebody is giving, someone is giving, no problem at all. When someone very low born, even the Shabari, the daughter of the Shabars, and she was offering food to Lord Sri Ramachandra, Sri Ramachandra without hesitation accepted that. There is no discrimination between the where she was born and all that. Because of her tremendous devotion, love and respect for Sri Ramachandra, she was waiting from his younger days till she became the old, only thinking about Ram. When someone is thinking about God for such a long period of time, his or her thought became completely purified. The mind became purified. Because he or she is not thinking about the Jagat, the world, not thinking about how I will gain, what are the things that I am going to gain, nothing like that. But the ordinary people in the world, they will be constantly looking up at the monks and commenting, oh, they are not doing this, that. They heard something and they think in that way. So this Sri Ramakrishna pointing very clearly. Listen to his reply. Because that lady told, oh, you have not achieved much in the spiritual life because still you are discriminating between the people's food. So you cannot eat from everyone. That means you are not a Gyani yet. He was the God himself. But even then, she commented in this way. And what was the reply the Sri Ramakrishna gave? Is eating everybody's food a sign of Jnana? A dog eats everything and anything. Does that mean a dog is a Jnani? So it is not the work, the action that a person is doing. It's the attitude, how he is practicing that. That is the attitude. In the organized religion like the Ramakrishna Mission is an organization. So we are going and in different schools, our monks are there, they are the teachers, they are teaching the students. And doctors are there, they are serving the patients. And in that different capacities, our monks are there, they are engineers, the doctors, the teachers. And people also, they are going out to the people when the natural calamities are there. They are going out and helping them. So almost all these things are worldly people are also doing. They are also teachers, they are also doctors, they are also engineers. There are also people going out and helping the other people. They are going on. So just normal type of things. We are also going and eating food, going to bed. We have rooms, all this natural and all. So does that mean that we are not monks? Should we have to go and lie down under a tree? Should we have to walk barefoot? Should we have to remain bare body? That doesn't mean anything. It is only at the time of the sadhana that we are doing is okay. If you think that is necessary for you to control your impulses, okay, no problem. But what about the attitude, the idea, the thought that is there in your mind? That is important. Here Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna very categorically he mentioned, eating from anyone and anything doesn't mean that he has become a Jnani. So he has no discrimination, he can do anything. No, it's the attitude. So we learn from Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna that it is the mind, it is the thought, it is the attitude, it is the ideology. That is very, very important, not the external thing. Whether I remain in a bare body or whether I cover the body, whether I put on shoes or anything, it doesn't matter at all. So here it says to Master Mahashaya, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, why do I eat variety of dishes? In order not to become monotonous. Otherwise, I should have to renounce the devotees. So the different type of things that the God, Lord, is a supreme. So how to judge? If you notice, almost in every pages in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning about the lust and lucre, lust and gold. That is important. If you have the desire to enjoy this worldly life, even secretly the mind is there enjoying. Then in the Bhagavad Gita also it mentioned, if you are thinking about the physical joy and other comforts, you are enjoying that. The physical you are not doing, but you are imagining, you are thinking in your thought, it is there. You are doing that. So that is very, very important. The lust and lucre is not what is the little food that they are eating, what type of dress they are wearing, where they are living. So this very, very clear in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And he is mentioning here, why do I eat the variety of dishes? In order not to become monotonous. I said to Keshav, if I instruct you from a still higher standpoint, then you won't be able to preserve your organization. Keshav means the Keshav Chandra. He was the very famous orator, and he was one of the founder of the Brahma Samaj and the Sadharan Brahma Samaj. So that Keshav Chandra, he was having the organization. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, if I ask you from the different standpoint, so you will never be able to keep the organization. In the state of jnana, organizations and things like that becomes unreal, like a dream. Swami Vivekananda, when he came to America, he saw the organized way the Europeans and Americans they do, which is absent, that was absent in the Indian society, Indian life. So he was thinking how to organize the educated monks and nuns for the service, for the upliftment of the downtrodden people. Because at that time, India was under the subjugations of the foreign rulers. So obviously, they were not giving the proper education, and there was no opportunity to get education, health care, etc. For all. So Swamiji was thinking that first is this, the people should learn something so that they can earn something, they can stand on their own feet, they get back their own self-confidences. That is very, very essential. For the path of liberation, for the path of spiritual liberation, political, economical, social freedoms are essential. Otherwise, it is almost impossible. You cannot develop the spirituality if you are not free, because people won't allow you to practice. So he was thinking how to help the society, in India. So at that time, Swami Vivekananda is asking them, go back to the villages, to the hamlets, and teach them to learn alphabets, to understand history, geography, economy. So then learn to earn something of your own and take all the technical ideas from the West, because they are developed in that. if you can take that, learn that, utilize that, apply that in your own society, develop the society, then only you will be able to practice your religion. That was the basic thing. Who will do? Swami Vivekananda was thinking, why not the monks? Why not the nuns? Because they have dedicated themselves. 24 hours they are there. So they can serve the God in the living forms. They are doing that in the caves, in the temples, in the secluded places, all alone. Why not in a group? Why not in an organization? And then in an organized way, if they go out, there are so many educated monks and nuns are there. So that conception came and it brought that organization. Friends, you'll be happy, many of you know, this is the 125th year of the organization, the Ramakrishna Math and the Ramakrishna Mission. They're the twin organization, but under the same, the monks. The Math is only for the monks where they practice the spiritual practices, etc. Some of the ashramas are there where only the rituals and the study, meditation, not much of philanthropic work. And mission, same monks, when they are doing that, they are collecting fund, accepting government grants, and reaching out to the people, helping them, giving them health care, education, and many other things. So whatever they are necessary. So the one is Math, M-A-T-H, another is Mission, Ramakrishna Matha, Ramakrishna Mission. So this is the organization he was thinking when he was here in America. So one day he expressed the funny way he told, oh, I am in temptation. Then naturally they were telling, oh, what is that? Please explain. He said it is the organization. My temptation is to make an organization of the holy people, dedicated people, men and women. And they will go out in the society like a wildfire. And they are completely dedicated to God. Except God, they don't want anything else. Name, fame, physical comfort, nothing. They are so completely dedicated. But they have dedicated themselves for God realization. Why then they will go to the poor people and educate them and all that? They are not deviating from their goal? Swamiji said, no. The God that you are trying to realize by closing your eyes within your heart, sitting in a cave or an isolated place, the same God is in the living beings. So go out, serve the living gods and goddesses. This is a unique way. The Vedanta in practice. The old type Vedanta, they realized God is everything. But they were afraid. If we go and mix with people in the society, maybe that I will forget this. That is the reason they used to go into the isolation, into the forest and caves, away from the society. Swami Vivekananda, he brought back the Vedanta from those isolated places, from the hilltops, from the caves, from the banks of the rivers, and then introduced in the cities and the villages, among the societies. And that is the greatness of Swami Vivekananda. And he convinced the people, thousands of them. If you can see God by closing your eyes, how come that you cannot see God by opening your eyes? See God in the poor, in the downtrodden, in the illiterate, in the oppressed. They need your puja, they need your services. But at the same time, you should be completely ego-free. Hey, I am giving you the food. I am arranging your education. I am paying for your medicine. If you say like that, then you are bound. So he first said, Atmana moksha, then Jagat hita. This is because of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Vivekananda was trained under Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna only said him this, taught him this. So this is the way, the Ramakrishna mission. So we, the monks of the Ramakrishna mission, and the nuns, as a separate organization is there, the Sarada Sangha, in the name of Ma Sharadamani, the Holy Mother. The nuns are there, highly educated girls, ladies, they are there. The same way they are serving. They are writing articles, going and giving the lectures, reaching out to the poor people, giving them education. They have the hospitals, schools, colleges. So many varieties, the different ways. The nuns are also working. And now the Hindu society, they have understood it. Almost all the organizations now, they are in the same way organized and serving the people. It is necessary even today to serve the society, because the monks and nuns can, with a pure mind, they can serve them to purify themselves. Atmana moksha, for the liberation of one's own self. And at the same time, as a byproduct, we can say, helping the society to grow up. So here Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, suppose I give you the teaching in such a way that you see everything is nothing but one, then where will remain your organization? That happened to Swami Vivekananda even. At the fag end of his life, he himself declared that I like to go back to my own abode, which is that without any form, without any name, which is that one supreme. I like to go back to that Brahman, and I like to forget that I was here. So that Jnana Marga, it was there, but he introduced the unique way to purify our mind. Now Swami Vivekananda, after introducing this, going back to the Supreme, and when you achieve that, reach over there, realize that, the oneness, no question of serving, no question of worshipping, there is only one, and that eternal Brahman, which has been expressed, because it is the subjective knowledge. No one can give the idea of the Brahman. So here, the idea is, purify your mind and then go back to your own self. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, if a man truly realizes that the body and the world are unreal, he is mentioning body, that means the person, and the world, the varieties that we see in the expressed way, are unreal, then his soul attains Samadhi. Friends, in one of our talk we have discussed about in details the varieties of Samadhis. Just to remind, there are different types of Samadhi. Samadhi means the ultimate consciousness. When we go to that, that is called Samadhi. And in that condition, one forgets the existence of his body and also the other things. Now, there are different varieties of Samadhis. One is Sabitarka, that is with question, and Nirvitarka, without any question, without any doubt. Here, Sabichara, with discrimination, Nirvichara, without discrimination. Sabikalpa and Nirvikalpa, Sampragyata and Asampragyata. Those who are interested, you can read the Raja Yoga. Is the explanation of Swami Vivekananda of Patanjali Yoga Darshan. And very simple, lucid way, the Swamiji has explained the aphorisms of the great sage Patanjali. The Patanjali Yoga Darshan that he has translated. He actually gave the talk, and that was written down and published in the book form. That is called Raja Yoga. Swami Vivekananda gave 4 lectures on 4 different yogas: karma, jnana, dhyana, and bhakti. This dhyana yoga is known as Raja Yoga. So he is mentioning that sajiva nirvija. Sabija, bija means the seed, nirvija, this is seedless. And perfect samadhi means merging with the object of meditation. Now friends, sometimes I have discussed, again we can, just to clarify our understanding, when we sleep, we feel that I am sleeping and my mind, body is completely absent, but mind is active. How? Because I see dream. So with the mind, when my body and mind are active, that is one condition. And second condition, dream condition. Third condition, without dream. We experience every day. Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti. In Sanskrit, Jagrat means when I am awake. And we all know about that. They are physically, mentally, that means my all thoughts are very active and I am aware what is happening. But it is also our experience every day we see dreams. When we see dreams, that time also the dream world becomes as real as awakened world. It is our experience. In the dream, we never think that we are dreaming. We think it is real. That is our experience. Now the third stage, about which we are not very much aware, though we are experiencing almost every day, that is called dreamless sleep state. The dreamless sleep, where the body was absent, mind was absent, then what was there to tell me that I had a nice sleep? And when I come back from that third stage, I always feel happy, never misery. I always feel happy. So nobody is dictating anything. No one is coming down the commands from the heaven. This is just regular practice, everyday experience. And we cannot deny it. So this Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti, this Avastha Traya. What is the Traya? Traya means 3. What is the Avastha? Condition. That this condition we are aware. So that time when we are not dreaming, our mind is also absent. Then what was there? Consciousness. This is the consciousness, the proof of the consciousness which is there, and when it comes back again, merges with the mind, we see dream. Again, next step, merges with the body, then we are awake. So going back and forth, it goes on like that. Now the same thing if we do in our own meditation time, what do? We sit, at that time we are conscious that I am sitting on my seat and this is my posture of sitting and my God is in front of me and I am going to meditate. Then slowly, as per the instruction of the Guru, I try to withdraw the mind from the external object and I go to that particular object the Guru has asked me to meditate. So I go inside the mind and the Guru has taught me to meditate on the heart. It's not the physical heart, it's the yogic heart, it's a beautiful flower. Over that, my chosen ideal, my Ishta Devata or Devi or the god or goddess, and I see the god is sitting over there, lamp is burning, incense sticks are also there. I can feel the beautiful fragrance I can see that lamp that is flickering and burning, also the smokes going out up from the incense sticks. I can see the flower. I can touch them. Everything in that deep way I am going. That time I forget my body. The first stage, I am forgetting my body. As I sleep, I forget my body. I go to the dream world. And here, in the meditation, I forget my body. I go to my mind world. I'm fully conscious that I am meditating. But when I go over there and can remain with my idol, my God, serving God, talking to God, singing before Him, offering food to God, I forget that I am meditating. There's a unique, and when I can do that, I come back, get up, and I'm so happy that I could do it correctly. Now another step is there. What is that step? I go and merge with that God, my object. And I forget that I was meditating, that I is also gone. There remains nothing but happiness. The God is also vanished. I, the one who was meditating, also merged with that God. There remains nothing but the feeling of happiness. And that is called Samadhi. That ultimate merged with the soul. Sometimes we call it God when you are approaching like this, and sometimes merging with the soul, which is the conscious. As because the Jnani, they say it is Brahman. The Dhyani, those who are following the path of meditation, they call it Atma, or the soul, the merging with the soul. Those who are following the path of the devotion, they call it Bhagavan. So like this way, I am merging with that. And what remains? I forget the body, I forget the mind, there is no duality, only remains happiness. And when I come down from that, what remains in my mind? I was so happy in meditation. That is called Samadhi. When one can forget the body and the world. That is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, in 2 words, he is mentioning, you have to forget the world, the external world, and your body also. Then what remains? The mind. That also goes completely merged with the object, and whatever it remains is nothing but the consciousness. And when you come down from that, that is the Samadhi. So he mentions in nice way, if a man truly realizes the body and the world are unreal, the moment the aorta of thought is there, it is real. Oh, if I meditate in that way, I don't know whether I will be able to come back. Then what will happen? That is called sabija. I am leaving a seed. So naturally, that seed grows up and brings me back down again. So that seed is there, seed of this world. I have to come back. I have a lot of duties to perform. And if I am not there, who will look after my children? And these, so many things are there. Because of that, thoughts are there, I am coming back. The Hindus, they believe that when a person is dead, what goes away? Not the body. That subtle mind, which is the thinking, it goes away. We call it soul. Jiva Atma, individual soul. And what happens? The same thing. It goes away with the body, but the thoughts are there. And in one point of time, he is tired of thinking, so they goes into slumber, and he'll be remaining over there. And sometimes some people, they worship God or goddesses, like the company of the same type of devotees, so they go to there. So what happens after the death? We go to our friends with whom we were growing up. The same ideology, the same type of belief, and naturally I am very happy with the same type of minded people, same-minded people. That is called loka. Loka means the sphere. I like Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. After the death, I will go to that loka where the same-minded people will be there. I will see, other monks are there, nuns are there, devotees are there, and I will feel happy over there. Then after some days, if I have the desire, I have to complete this, I have to do that. Again that desire, the seed, will sprout, will start growing. We have to come back again because it will be heavy. So you won't be able to stay over there. You have to come back. And then you have to take a body and you have to take birth in a family, in a situation where all your desires will be fulfilled. That's called karma. That karma binds us, it comes back to the same place. Then again I take the form, and here some scary sentences are there in the Upanishad. It says that maybe in this human form, if we have done something good, in the next birth, or maybe not, maybe lower birth, if you have done something very wrong. Your karma, you have to pay back. You have to suffer. There is no other way. So that is the result of our karma. So that is the reason one should be moral, just because of the fear of the law of the land, or the police, or this or that. No. I must be aware that my karma will bear fruit, and then I will suffer again, because I know this type of thought, and if I have to, those desires, if I have to fulfill, I have to become like that. That also I know. That's why Swamiji said, Swami Vivekananda, you are the maker of your own destiny. But now let us follow what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling. He said, formerly, I had the state of mind of a jnani. I couldn't enjoy the company of men, the people. I would hear that a jnani or a bhakta lived at a certain place. Then, a few days later, I would learn that he was dead. Everything seemed to me impermanent. So I couldn't enjoy people's company. Later, the mother brought my mind down to a lower plane. She changed my mind that I could enjoy love of God and His devotees. The love of God and His devotees. So this is another stage. Some people, they don't like that, they remain over there. Some people, they like to be in a place, in a stage, in a situation where they know that everything is nothing but God. But the same God taking different form and performing in a different way, that they enjoy. So they come back. They are also jnani inside, but bhakta, the devotee, outside. Swami Vivekananda said, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was jnani inside and a devotee outside. But me, Swami Vivekananda, he was bhakta inside, jnani outside. He used to talk about all these knowledges. His unique lectures on Advaita Vedanta. And his way of, but at the same time, he was a bhakta. And he said, anyone who serving the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, I am his servant. I am his servant. He became so humble. Anyone who is loving Sri Ramakrishna, trying to realize Sri Ramakrishna, trying to understand that Godhead, I am His servant. That means I am so humble because my Lord God, they love Him. So that way He is expressing, the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, in a condition was there in my mind that when I never cared for anything, who is dying, who is coming, who is where, nothing was there. But now the Mother has brought me down from there. Down means in a different step. So there I see that the God and the devotees, that means those who love God, they are also there and God is also there. This is the incarnation. Next, the Master began to talk about divine incarnation. Friends, that is the greatest faith of the Hindus. The traditional Hindus and the ancient Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, which is now famous as Hindu Dharma, Hindu religion, they believe the karma, they believe the incarnation, the karma theory and the reincarnation theory. And when the souls, individual souls, they are also taking birth, at the same time they understand, they believe that the God, the Supreme One, who has created this universe, also take the human form, come down, live with the human being, and grow along with them to guide them to the goal, the supreme goal, to know the truth. The truth is one, it is not many. So this is the unique way the Hindus, they kept their religion. Next Wednesday, we'll be discussing about the incarnation. Thank you, friends.
Maharaj, Devashish is asking how we will train our mind to avoid thinking about worldly things and remain happy with what we have.
Devash is an excellent question. But training the mind means, as you are regularly listening the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, now if you have the faith in the words of the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, so you know that this world with all its varieties is in reality, it is so temporary. And from our experience also we see that our grandparents, they used to love us so much. Now suddenly they are not there. And then my parents, then me, and like that, all around us, when we were born, our friends, our school, our colleges, everything is changing. So obviously, things, they go on changing. It is not permanent. If we think from this changing world, we will get a permanent joy and happiness, that is foolishness. Understanding that if you live in this world, that will be sufficient. Thank you. So there was only one question. Okay, now we will conclude with this stotra. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.